Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it.
This is fun. I'm glad to get the opportunity to cast with you,
I
Neuro.
got you all.
What's up, dude? Aoret. The man, the myth, the legend. Rise Esports Aoret. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have the same two players, coincidentally, on the same map, Blue Shift. In the bottom left-hand corner, in the yellow, representing Clan B, it is Livibee.
And spawning in the upper right, he's been called the Sewer Mermaid and all kinds of other things. It's Florencio, Red Protoss.
Wow. So, I don't know too much about his clan, but my guess would be that it is playas, which is Spanish for beaches. So he's representing the nice vacation spots near bodies of water. I think that's good. Not many people represent different landscapes with their clan.
And he is from Southern California, so that does make sense. There are a lot of nice beaches here.
Yeah. So we do have a forge and a gateway with a pylon in the wall for Playas Lili.
And Livibee opting for that gas and pool before her hatch, which makes sense given Florencio's reputation.
Yeah, a little bit of metagame value here. These two players are likely aware of each other, so oftentimes in a 1v1, your opening is going to reflect their area of expertise. And Florencio is an expert at mixing things up, doing basically anything that is not standard. That's his playbook.
Yeah, he's mentioned to me before that he really likes to try to get the game further and further from his opponent's comfort zone the longer the game goes, to essentially tax their mental energy trying to figure out what are the correct responses to everything. He just won't relent on forcing, can you answer this? Can you answer this?
Yeah, that's one of the main differences between StarCraft and painting a portrait on a canvas is there's someone who is actively trying to be as obnoxious as possible and annoy the crap out of you. So that's definitely a major aspect of how this game works. Just being aware of the picture they're trying to paint and just throwing wrenches at them. And they have to dodge them and deal with them, and it's just very stressful. And it opens up opportunities for them to make mistakes. But what do we have here? This is a very, very expensive wall off before taking a base.
Yeah, definitely a lot of investment here by Florencio.
There are two pylons here.
Looks like Livibee doesn't really want to push into that Zealot cannon with the link count that she's currently got, but at the same time, Florencio is not really pressuring her at all.
Yeah, this early game, both players, they sort of postured to deal with some big shenanigan, but it didn't really happen. They're both trudging forward into a macro game. The Gateway Forge does delay stuff quite a bit, and then a Stargate right behind the wall.
Do we know Livibee's drone count? Ah, here we go. We get a look at it. So Neuro, I mean, you'd be able to answer this a bit better than I can. You know, where are we in relation for Livibee, given that the Protoss has essentially just expanded to what is their natural? Are we basically on pace here?
Yeah, it's been a strange opening, but we're in what's mostly an even game. A lot of matches that start out with something that's moderately cheesy will tend to converge to more of a normal macro setup. The main piece that's missing here from Livy's setup is a third base. You see the minerals are piling up a little bit here. That's when Zerg usually wants to get that third for more larva. But to guess at the mindset here, taking a base is another place the Protoss could cannon rush, and that's a big pain in the patootie. So maybe we're just playing it extra super safe and just trying to power up on two bases. And bear in mind, both of these players have a chosen handicap here. Livibee is playing this game zoomed in. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I know exactly what this is. Look here. There's an Overlord that is going to be able to drop units.
Yeah, I quite like this from Livibee. it makes sense to kind of say, hey, you...
Oh,
this
no!
is an issue, though. Oh, gosh.
Oh, no!
Rip.
Oh, man.
Well, as I was saying, I do like the idea of saying, well, Florencio, you don't have a lot of cannons here, but unfortunately you did have a Void Ray, so there's that.
You know, on the Void Ray, it has kills listed as 2, which, I don't know. If anyone with Blizzard is watching or aware of what's happening here, if my calculations are correct, that Overlord had 8 Zerglings in it. And
Blizz,
the Overlord
please.
is also a unit. So that's 9 units by killing the Overlord, is it not?
I'm in complete agreement here.
Okay, well, I mean, in their defense, mathematics is a very hard frontier of knowledge. So figuring out numbers like that, it's pretty tough stuff.
So we've got a fleet beacon here about to finish up for Florencio. His army, I believe, consists of a Zealot and a Void Ray. And we got more Stargates coming down, so we were normalizing, but now we're kind of diverging again.
Yeah, I would take a guess and say that he's probably going Tempest, but since it's Florencio, my guess is always going to be wrong, so he's going to be going Carriers here.
Makes sense, yeah. I'm honestly a little bit shocked that he just has his 2 bases in his normal 2 locations. Florencio is very, very liable to hide bases everywhere on the map.
Yeah, sometimes you say the closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. Those hidden bases can be really high percentage just because the players are really taxed, and with Livia's handicap, she can't see very much at a given time since she's all the way zoomed in. Can I look at the POV? Yeah. Well, there you go. Livia's POV, you can only see a handful of units at a time. You're just so jacked into the situation. This is also the handicap that I've chosen. It's pretty fun.
It seems really difficult to me, honestly. Like, at first I kind of underestimated how hard it was to play zoomed in, but as I've kind of watched it, it's a lot. I will say, so you were right about being wrong. It is Carriers. I almost think that I would have favored the Tempest here, given what Livy's handicap is. You know, trying to chase somebody who's kiting seems really hard with your camera zoomed in.
Yeah, but that's where Florencio really excels, right? Is the game theory of the best decision and the opponent guessing at what the best decision would be, so they prepare for the best decision. So you do the second best decision to metagame them and surprise them here. So that he may be just a couple steps ahead of even us here in this analysis of knowing what he should be doing and what the Zerg should be doing to prepare against that, and then doing something slightly different to keep them just on edge and in a constant state of being bamboozled. Yeah,
we want to go just a couple layers above, right?
Yeah.
Spire here for Livibee.
And Hydra's doing some DPS to this pylon. This Cybercore is where the air upgrades would happen.
But they aren't spinning, which is a bit odd.
Well, he is only playing with one hand, so it may be hard to click that and then click the other thing.
Fair enough.
Carrier skin is really good, though. Oftentimes, if you're getting those really nice pay-to-win skins, it doesn't actually make the units stronger, but when the opponent sees them, it's like, wow, that's such an awesome skin. And they forget about what they were doing at the time, so I think he does have a slight edge here.
Especially with Livy being zoomed in, she kind of can't help but confront how nice that skin is, and she's really probably going to pause for at least a few seconds and kind of admire it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, a bunch of Carrier, Void Ray, and one Zealot coming up to this third base location, focusing down these precious Overlords.
It's a decent amount of Hydra Queen.
Yeah, she does have the range attack upgrade, too. A lot of these Carriers are empty. They're going to be forced to rebuild their Interceptors. The Carriers were reworked in this current patch. It takes them a little bit longer to ramp up all the Interceptors, but they do have more HP, the Carrier vessels themselves, I believe.
A really good creep spread here by Livibee, so she's able to kind of track the movements of Florencio as he's trying to play this cat and mouse game and hit where her Hydras are not.
Corruptors dealing bonus damage to Massive, going directly for the vessels themselves. A couple of them going down. Florencio is still on 2 bases.
And a recall will save 4 carriers, but 1 does go down.
Bear in mind, if he's not going to expand, he's on the clock. His main base has already mined out quite a few patches.
And quite a big army supply lead here for Livibee, but, I mean, the carriers can fudge the math a little.
Yeah, interceptors don't add any supply, but they do add quite a bit of firepower. There aren't any upgrades on them, though, so this is snowballing in Livy's favor. She's been pretty on top of the interceptor count so far. If you ever have more Hydras than interceptors, you're in a good spot against carriers.
Very true. And the Queens have finally arrived. The cavalry's here.
You know, normally cavalry is supposed to be faster than the infantry, but I see what you're saying.
I mean, why are they always showing up late, right? What is this the cavalry's arrived bit?
A wizard is never late.
He arrives precisely when he means to. I suppose you've got a point.
Oh, it's Tempest now. Gonna be able to shoot the Zerg from very far away. Oh, those have really good skins too, but the Corruptors don't even care. They still focus them down even though they have cool skins.
Yeah, the Corruptors say you can't really kite if you're defending your base.
Uh-oh, the front wall is breached. The Corruptors are flying over. The Queens and the Hydras are doing their DPS to that wall off Gateway and Cybercore both going down.
Yeah, things are not looking up here for Florencio. There's not even a hidden base. This is around the time I would expect to pan to the lower right of the map and just see that he's got all of this again down there, but GG's called.
GG. And the B takes game number 1 on Blue Shift. I believe it is loser picks, but I'm not super certain.
I believe that's how we've been doing it. I'm not sure if that's like a formal rule or just kind of what's been happening.